Violence erupted again in the centre of Kiev on Tuesday morning. Protesters attacked lines of police after their march on the parliament building was blocked. Police replied with firing of rubber bullets and stun and smoke grenades from trucks and from the tops of buildings. The confrontation came as Parliament delayed a discussion on reforms that would limit presidential powers. Now, these are live shots of protesters still camped out there in Kiev's Independence Square. Now, earlier we've been seeing burning barricades of tyres. They've been there in Kiev for around 3 months now, demanding that President Viktor Yanukovych relinquish some of his powers. Mira Petsa is a journalist based in Kiev. She says the situation is very tense.
The riot police and the protesters exchanged cocktails of Molotovs, and now the situation is developing very fast. We know that there are reports of 10 injured protesters and 3 policemen. We know that the protesters were injured by rubber bullets, and we also know that the cars are burning there, the cars that were kind of blocking the protesters to the road. And we also know that minutes ago the protesters seized the office of the Party of Regions. This is the pro-Yanukovych party. He is the head of this party. And so the situation is developing really, really fast.
OK, let's talk now to Valentin Yakuchik. He's Professor of Political Science at University of Kiev. Joins us now via Skype from the Ukrainian capital. Thanks once again for talking to Al Jazeera. What's your understanding of what happened this morning?
Today is the new stage of the events in Ukraine. We are coming to a stage which we may call being at the brink of a tragedy. Now the official opposition cannot control the people protesting in the streets. They came to the tactics of vandalism, burning down some buildings, destroying cars, throwing again stones, napalm, Molotov cocktail. Very dangerous situation.
But why did it reach this level of violence today? What sparked this new frustration amongst the protesters?
You know, during all these months of conflict, nothing was changing. The government was doing a lot of concessions, but very slow, without any serious strategy. And the opposition was pressing more and more on the government, on the president, and also without any sound strategy. So then people get frustrated. Yesterday, I spoke to protesters asking, are you sure you need to go tomorrow, it means today, to encircle the parliament, the cabinet of ministers, to bring the country to the brink of a civil war? Yes, they said, we need to go. There is no way out. Gangsters has to be thrown out. I said, you know, it leads to a destruction of the country, separating different parts, because at least half of the country does not support the protesters. No understanding. And the protesters told me that I am a Moscow agent. They started shouting at me, and the only way for me was to use tough, swearing words, shouting at them. At that time, they recognized that this may be a kind of undesired pluralism. So no wish to reach any kind of peaceful discussion of the ways out.
I mean, interesting that, just jump in, because the president has got a very difficult choice ahead of him. He's got to present a candidate for a new prime minister. The way you're speaking, nothing that the president can do short of stepping down will appease people on the streets. But do you think there's some way out for him here?
Well, for him, there is no other way how to suppress the riot. When people started burning down the buildings in the center, attacking the parliament, and then not from the positions of the weakness, how for a long time he and his authorities were talking, not coming to the stage of the civil war. Now you cannot stop the people without showing to them that the other part has also strength. And then we need to have real experts on peace building, on bringing different participants of the conflict to the round table. And yesterday I was talking on your program saying we really need real experts, spiritual and intellectual level leaders of the world, of developing world as well, because half of the country will look at the West and to America as those who have vested interests. Another half would look at Russia as the country with vested interests. It's time when we need help in how to resolve such kind of conflicts. That is why I asked your company, which has worldwide connections, please help us. We are at the brink of a tragedy. If it continues like that, like today, there will be no way out. The splitting of the country, new destructions, establishing of a military rule here. We don't want this.
No.
We need peaceful solution.
Okay.
Please try.
Valentin Yakuchik, thank you very much for joining us there and updating us on the situation today, which appears to have escalated somewhat. These are some of the latest pictures that we've been seeing from the capital, Kiev, this morning, where we saw thousands of protesters trying to march on the parliament building, being blocked by rows of trucks and police throwing stun grenades and smoke grenades, protesters hurling rocks and Molotov cocktails back. Violent clashes, the first we've seen on the streets of Kiev for over 3 weeks. Protesters still there in Independence Square now throughout the afternoon, determined not to step down until President Viktor Yanukovych relinquishes at least some of his powers.